Your ID card. I saw a press release from the Department of Immigration saying they're rallying on the Vienna Convention. What they failed to state was which article of the Vienna Convention exactly are they relying on. Because I do not see any article of the Vienna Convention that states that they have to issue ID cards to nationalities abroad. Article 29, both Article 29 and 30 of the Vienna Conventions are talking about diplomatic immunities, the protection of diplomats and the premises of diplomats. So first of all, I'd like them to clarify that. Which article of the convention are they actually relying on? Because that's not very clear. So this goes to show that the entire process is shrouded in secrecy. What Gambians should ask is, why are they doing this? What's the purpose behind this? Because if those citizens need to be issued alliance card, and that's the other reason, I feel like there are embassies in this region, and these citizens can obtain their passports or consular cards from the embassies, which will give them access to such alien cards, and there is no need for our immigration department to use our little resources, travel all the way to these countries to issue ID cards. These passports can be processed through the embassies if we have correct systems in place. And the other issue is we feel they are doing this because of the upcoming elections. Their intention is to commit electoral fraud. That's how we feel. Because again, Section 14 and 15 of the Nationality and Citizenship Act says anyone that should be issued a national ID card must prove they are Gambian. And the regulation states in order to prove you are Gambian, verifications must be done through the alcalos, the chiefs, and the governor representatives. How will these people, the immigration people that travel all the way to this country, verify that these people demanding our national ID cards are Gambians? That's another question. How? So that's put the entire process into disrepair. And I think it needs to cease immediately to protect the integrity of our national documents and the integrity of our upcoming election. Because 2026 is a really important election for us, and we are not going to sit down and watch them ruin the elections and defraud us even before the elections are stolen before the day, and I think that's what they're doing. We've had this experience of electoral fraud in another means during the 2021 elections, where we saw people who were registered after closing of the registration dates in certain areas, because the system will show you the time and the date of the registration on every voter's card. And we experienced this. Unfortunately, the matter was shown out of court on technicality, but this is our experience as a party. And as young people, we feel our future is at stake, and we should get up and stand up and have our voices heard and not have our rights tampered, because what's the point of voting in an election that has already been decided? There is no need for that. That's why we are here, to be heard, to be recognized, and we are demanding for this issuance of the national ID card to be ceased immediately. That's what is our demands are.
So you once served in the National Assembly, and even though we understand currently the Parliament is on recess, but would it be important for parliamentarians to hold them accountable, putting into consideration that the article that they are relying on with regards to the Geneva Convention, it's not mentioning anything, giving them the legitimacy to issue ID cards beyond the jurisdiction of the government?
Yeah, the articles are actually in the Vienna Convention. That's what they said they're relying on, if I get it right. Well, parliamentarians should hold inquiries to this. It is their responsibility to scrutinize government actions, and the immigration department is part of government, and I think they should immediately start an inquiry into why they are doing this and hear their justifications. If it doesn't make sense, make recommendations that it should be halted immediately. And I don't see any sense in this. One, we do not have the resources. If you start with Mauritania and Gabon, what about those people living in the USA and those living in Europe? Does Gambia have the resources for them to travel all the way to issue ID cards to these people? How is the process fair? Yet still, the most interesting part is Gambians at home are struggling to get ID card, and you're busy using our little resources to issue ID cards to Gambian abroad, when there are other means that they can get documentations to prove they are Gambians. Even when you lose your passport abroad, you just walk into the embassy. I've heard that experience, and then they will issue you with a emergency passport. So why can't they use those things or consular cards if they want to obtain alien cards in the places they are? What's the point of issuing ID cards? We think there is a fraud, ongoing fraud, and we are here to stop it.
Thank you.